Assalamu alaikum warahmatullah. So I've had a new delivery, so let's do an unboxing, let's put it together and let's see how it works. I'll show you what it is as well. So there's a bit of a change of scenery at the moment, so we'll work at the front of the house. There's too much storm damage in the back of the garden, so I need to do work there. So let's get this open. Oh, look at this. So it's a new little toy for me to be playing with. And it's a Olmolmo little chainsaw. So I've had the smaller chainsaws. So I've got a couple of electric chainsaws now. I've got a nice big foot long one. I've got a 6-inch one and a small something in between now. So let's get this thing open. Right. Sealed up pretty good. It's hard getting into it the way they've sent it up. Come on. Just like that. Oh, it's packed up quite nicely. So let's see if it's come fully assembled. Well, it has come fully assembled. So this is an 8-inch blade. I like the fact that it's already come fully assembled, there's nothing to do on it. I like the way it's packaged. Nice little blade guard. This must be the charger that it comes with. So a charger, a couple of batteries. Now what are these, 18 volt? No, they're 21 volt batteries. So hopefully, I don't know what the amp hour are that on them though. Full load voltage 21, but it doesn't tell us what the amp hours are. Oh, the 2 amp hours, 2 amp batteries. The set comes with a pair of goggles, spare chain. Fantastic, that's really well done. The gloves aren't all that. I thought they were going to give me some chainsaw gloves then, but no chainsaw gloves. Screwdriver and a spanner just in case I need it. I'm happy with the goggles because if nothing else, because I'm always working outside and I always forget to put my goggles on. It's an 8-inch brushless mini chainsaw. So here's the instruction book. Let's have a look at what they've got in it. So general safety. Where's the operating stuff? That's the care. Don't general safety, recharge on the specified manufacturer, blah 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 blah. So there's the model number. It's brushless, maximum cutting diameter 190 millimeters. Guide plate, so the blade length is 8-inch. Weight is 4 pounds-ish. That's really interesting. The good thing I'm really liking about this is that it comes with an oil tank. So it's got its automatic feed in for the oil. Now I do have a mini chainsaw, but it hasn't got an oil thing. So you have to manually oil it. It's got a little attachment here for two-handed use, so if it's something's a little bit stubborn. I like the fact that it's got it's like a little sword, a little protector. Ah! But let's go get some oil and put some oil in it first. Here we go. Let's get this going. What would have been the icing on the cake was if they'd have given me a little funnel. Let's see if they've been that kind. Do you know if there was a little funnel in here to put the oil in? Because the thing I don't like about these oil cans is you buy the oil can, but there's no funnel. So if you've got your own funnel, that's great. But if you haven't, then you're making a mess when you're pouring it in. But when it comes to me and sauces and oils and stuff, I'm always making a mess. So bismillah, let's try and pour this in. Oops, that's not good. It shouldn't have come out like that. Let's be a bit careful. So I'm using standard chainsaw oil, and you can get this quite easily. And there we're pretty much full, like that on there. And it's important that you run a chainsaw with oil in it, because it protects your blade. It ensures a smooth running of your blade as well. So I've just put that back in. It shouldn't, something a little bit tougher on that would have been better, you know. But I'm really liking the fact that it's slightly bigger than the smaller ones. You've seen the smaller Seiko one that I had. Is there a, where's the adjustment for the blade? Shall I take it apart and let's have a look at what's inside it before I put the battery on? Should we take it apart and just see how you'd change the blade if you had to? If you had to change this chain. So there. Olmolmo, not Olmolmo. Olmolmo. That's how you. How does that come off? There we go. That comes. Okay, so there, it just fits on. There's no chain tensioner, which is a bit weird. Let's have a look, see if we can find some instructions on how to adjust the chain. Technical specifications: it's a battery pack type, lithium ion, voltage 21 volts. 2 amp hours, charging time 1.5 hours, working time 50 to 60 minutes. See, they're the book times. One thing I've noticed about battery chainsaws is they never last as much as they say they're going to. I mean, I have been impressed with them for what they are. The only frustrating thing sometimes about a battery chainsaw is that the battery runs out right in the middle of a cut, so you need a few batteries on hand. That's why I like the fact that they've given a spare battery, so there's 2 batteries in the pack. Let's have a look. So we've got a wrench, battery charger, screwdriver. If you have any questions, contact them. Oil pour. So oil is fine. Make sure to pull out battery or chainsaw, unscrew the nut, remove the guide bar and replace the chain. Pay more attention to blade orientation, so make sure your blade's going the right way. Fine. The pinhole of the guide plate needs to be inserted into the locking bolt. There's a locking bolt. Chains are clamped on the rear socket. Okay, so that fits onto there. That's fine. Turn the bolt clock. Oh, okay. So that's not. We found the chain tension, but I thought that was weird that it didn't have a chain tension adjustment. So if you were having to change the bar or change the chain, then this is how you do it. You'd unscrew it here and take that off. Let's put it back together, and then I'll show you how to. I found the chain tensioning thing, so I'll show you how to do that, and then we'll give it a whirl and see how it gets on. While I'm working, I better go and put one of these batteries on charge just in case. So with the charger, the battery just fits in like that. So you can see I'm out of the charging station already. The batteries actually do come with a nice little gauge on them, so that's quite handy. That's one thing that my mini chainsaw, the 6-inch one, didn't have. So this one has it's come pre-charged, but it's not 100%, so we'll give that 100% charge. So hopefully the other one should have some charge on it. The nice thing about the mini chainsaw that I had was it came with a plastic carry case, you know, a solid tool plastic carry case. I mean, this is nicely fitted out and everything. Because it's still quite a small tool, it would have been nice to have a plastic carry case to go with it. I'm not sure if you can get a bigger bar for this, because a slightly bigger bar, maybe a 10-inch bar, would make this a really formidable tool actually. There's the chain tensioning screw. So if you adjust that, that's the way to adjust the chain. So turn it, turn the screw to your right to loosen it. And the chain becomes really loose. To your right, was that right? No, to your left to loosen it, and to your right to tighten it. So anti-clockwise to loosen it, and clockwise to tighten it. Let's get a battery connected to it, and let's see how it works. Whenever you use a new tool for the first time, return tray one thing you will notice is the chain comes loose for the first couple of times. So give it a little whirl, and after you've given it a whirl, give it another tighten just to make sure. It would have been really good if this chainsaw had some kind of automatic tightener, chainsaw belt tensioner built into it, rather than having to screw it separately. That would have been a really good, you know, something really good for it. It's a bit awkward where it is, you know, this tightener for the chain. It is a bit awkward where it is. Looks like feels like it's got plenty of oomph to it. For safety reasons, you might want to disconnect the battery before you go anywhere near the blade, but you know me, just keep your finger off the trigger. We'll find something to give this a test on. Come on. Now the first bit I want to try it on is just some standard sort of softwood that's been cut. You know, the building softwood. So let's give it a go on that. Bismillah. Right. Why are you jamming? She's got the gauge showing the oil in there, so it's full of oil, that's fine. Okay, got enough charge on it. Oh, it hasn't got enough charge. Let's go get the other battery. That's what I mean about the frustrating part of using a thing without properly charging. Bismillah. Ideally on something like that, something that thick, I'd normally go for my bigger chainsaw. The pain comes when it comes to cutting little sticks like this, because when you use a big chainsaw on that, the thing that happens with these sticks is they bounce all over the place, and it can be quite dangerous. But for this, it's much more substantial than the 6-inch one, so I prefer this to that. So I think might end up giving my 6-inch one away, because this, you know, bigger's better and all of that. So for jobs like this, so for pruning jobs, this is going to be absolutely perfect. I think it needs a proper charge to do that. But let's have a go on this sycamore branch and see how we do on this.
You're moving too fast.
These are never going to replace a big chainsaw, but they do perfect for this kind of job. Do you know, when you've got little bits to prune. Let's see how it gets on with this thing. I mean, that's about 4 inches wide, so let's give it a go and see what it does. Nice. And that's hardwood as well. Like I said, you've got to be careful for the first few times that you use it, because the chain's going to come loose after you've used it. So you've got to give that another tighten and give it another go. But for the size of the machine and the work that I'm going to be doing with it, it's perfect to just have in the car. You know, something like this, have in the car, and when you see a log or see a bit of wood that you can grab, just sneak out and grab it. I mean, if I'd have had this last week, outside my kids' school, there was a log, a massive branch that had fallen and blocked the path. Now for me, if I'd had this in the car, I'd have quickly jumped out, grabbed it and got it in the car. The reason that I didn't get it was because I'd have had to come home, get my big chainsaw, get changed and get into gear and then go and get it. And because of that, by the time I did all of that and got ready, the log had gone. So having this in the car would have been perfect. It's a nice little machine. I mean, I am impressed by the fact that it's got this oil gauge on it. It feels like it's got a good bit of power to it. It feels well built. I like the rubber handle. We'll only be able to tell after a few months of using it whether the battery actually lasts as long as it should do and it works well enough. But for the machine it feels quite nice, and I like it much better than the 6-inch one that I've got. Yeah, really good, really decent machine. I'll leave a link to where you can get one of these from in the bottom of this video. You can go and have a look at it if you want to. Apart from that, it's a good little tool, nifty little tool, so I like it. Out of 10, I'll probably give this about a 7. It's a decent machine, but once the batteries are fully charged, we'll give it a proper test run and see how it goes. So in some of my other videos and maybe on some of my other platforms, I'll give you more regular updates on how this thing works and what I'm thinking of it as time goes on. But yeah, it looks pretty good for what it is. I like the fact that it's got a good bit of weight to it, much better than the 6-inch one. So yeah, I'll leave it there for this one. Thanks for watching. Don't forget to hit that like and subscribe for regular updates, and I'll see you on the next one. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullah.